Hello, nerds, and welcome to the Engadget podcast. I'm your host, Terrence O'Brien. Joining me to my left, managing editor, Dana Wollman.
Buenos dias.
Ah, you're getting all fancy and international on us, huh? You've been studying?
I took 12 years of Spanish.
Really?
I know how to say good morning.
12 years.
Yeah.
That's
I learned something.
pretty impressive. Literally all I know how to do in Spanish is call people really offensive things and order food.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Covers a few bases.
Yeah, the most important things. By the way, that other voice you hear is reviews editor Cherlynn Low. Good morning.
As much as it pains me to say this nice haircut.
Ah, thanks. Yes, not last week, but the week before, I was editor in desperate need of a haircut. I am no longer that. Now I'm just editor in desperate need of sleep.
Well, that's all of us, I think.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty consistent thing, I want to say, across the board.
of all of us.
We're usually pretty sleep deprived for one reason or another.
the upshot, at least, that we have had a long week, which means we have a lot to talk about. But
Oh,
Yes.
good, yeah.
it's been a busy week.
It's been crazy. Yeah.
Yes. So do you want to just jump right to it? Mm-hmm. Let's start off the week as we do every time with Flame Wars. For those who don't know how this works, we are going to debate the biggest topics of the week. Dana and Cherlynn, you are going to have 20 seconds each to make your opening statements, at which point I will offer you a brief rebuttal. At the end, I will declare a winner based purely on the strength of your arguments, and I will remind our viewers and listeners that this is purely an academic exercise and not necessarily a reflection of these people's personal opinions, although that will not stop me from attacking them as such.
When do you not attack us, honestly, with your face?
Wow. You know,
Just being honest.
You're really
she's going
all
hard
in.
today.
Be careful, Dana.
She goes
Might
pretty
come.
hard in general, but I'd get your fists up there, Dana.
She's not going to with me.
No, I'm really not. I'm really not.
Don't mess with me.
I'm really worried now. I'm like, no.
Also, that's how you know Dana is sleep deprived, is that she dropped an
Drops it.
F-bomb in
Yep.
the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
So let's start with the most fun and probably controversial one, because let's go hard right from the beginning.
Okay.
Let me pull up my timer first. So Edward Snowden is officially asking to be pardoned for his leaking of NSA documents to the press. I'm just going to let Dana go ahead and start making the case for why he should be pardoned.
The policies, the U.S. policies over the past 3 years, changes to U.S. policies, have already confirmed that Snowden deserves a pardon. Congress has taken action. Obama called together an independent review board, which confirmed or backed up a lot of Snowden's. I'm not very articulate. That was an easy one, guys.
That wasn't too bad. That was pretty good.
Oh my God.
You actually seemed prepared
Finally,
for that.
someone who's more long-winded than I am on these things.
Hashtag free Snowden.
All right. I guess
All right.
it's 2 seconds.
Cherlynn,
I'm gonna lose.
don't get too...
Look at Dana's face. Oh my God. I'm terrified. Oh my God. Okay.
All right. Why should Snowden not be pardoned?
Academically, Snowden, you can't argue that Snowden has broken the law here. He has, leaked all these documents that were classified. He's basically leaking stolen documents too. And the first course of action I question was, why didn't he go higher up to his employers or whoever's above them? And also I question timing of this. This movie's coming out soon. And I'll rebut later.
Okay.
Can we have time too for would there be time to say more things?
Yeah, well, you get your brief rebuttal now.
Yeah, Terrence.
This is now, you've had your 20 seconds. I got to hit my buzzer. I feel accomplished. And now we can have
Okay, good, because I had more to say.
Go ahead, Dana.
All right, so in addition to changes in policies and tacit acknowledgments from Congress and Obama himself, former Attorney General Eric Holder admitted that Snowden deserves a pardon. A formal pardon itself would be the last formal admission that Snowden's actions were morally and ethically correct, even if they didn't follow the letter of the law.
I question first of all, can we just say Dana picked all the picked all the pros and cons this
You
this
can
time
bet I was the
around.
kind of kid who cheated at Duck Hunt too.
There's-
Go right up to the screen with the gun.
Dana just
shoot
went the easy
ducks.
way. Let's be real. This isn't.
Shoot down Cherlynn's points.
God, man,
Yeah.
I'm already on the losing end of this. But anyway, but I want to say she also brought up a good point that the timing of the pardon is kind of questionable because Snowden's biopic by Oliver Stone is coming out this week, and ACLU announced Monday that they were going to start working on asking for his pardon, and then Snowden himself came out and asked President Obama for it. The reasoning itself is kind of flimsy. He's saying that a pardon is reasonable because the laws sometimes are made in error or something. I don't know the whole entire argument that he's making.
I mean, that's the gist of it. He's basically he's saying that the pardons exist to create exceptions
Right.
for the law where perhaps morally or ethically it might be in the wrong, or that particular conviction might be in
Right.
the wrong.
And that's fair, but it's also like, why is that the reason, and why is it now? Like, why did you wait so long if that was the exact? Nothing has changed, right? If that is the reason, it's not changed since the very first day he leaked the documents. I also wonder what a pardon's going to do for him, like what he can come back into the U.S. and then be prosecuted by, not prosecuted, but like chased down by the people who want him dead, like harder and easier, like makes him easier to find, I guess.
Well, I mean, let's start, Dana, with this idea that, the timing does seem kind of cynical. I mean, he's had all of these years to formally seek a pardon, and it just so happens that he's going to ask the week his movie comes out.
It's somewhat cynical, but at this time, maybe not specifically this week, but at this time, Obama is not up for re-election, so he doesn't need to worry as much about pissing anyone off.
I mean, he hasn't
Right.
been up for re-election for the better part of 4 years now.
This is true. I can't argue with that.
Yes.
I can't argue with that.
You handed that to me on a platter, kind of.
I kind of did. No, I can't speak for the timing.
Yeah.
But I can say that pardons exist for cases like these. A convicted mass murderer, mass rapist is not going to get a pardon. Pardons really are meant for people like Snowden, whose wrongdoings perhaps fell into a gray area where the morality of their actions didn't necessarily overlap with the illegality. And that's not a very elegant way of saying what I mean, but point is,
He did it with good intentions, is what you're saying.
and with net positive results for the nation and the world, and with zero evidence that any individuals were harmed as a result of his disclosures.
So I have one more question for you, Cherlynn, before I kind of make my
Fair.
judgment here and I declare a winner. Do you not think it's at all odd that they would continue to refuse to pardon him at this point, considering that President Obama has pardoned far more people than any president before him? I forget the exact number, but it's a pretty stunning margin at this point. I mean, and granted, most of those are low-level drug offenders, but it's clear that he doesn't have issue with the idea of pardoning criminals in general.
Well, I don't think Snowden has openly asked for a pardon in the past, has he?
That I'm not
I don't
sure
think
of.
so.
I'd have to double check.
I mean, he might have handedly.
This is at least the
mentioned
most
it. Right.
concentrate. This is at least the most direct effort.
I don't know
he's
if he
made.
formally has, but has said that he's remained hopeful that he can one day come home and
Right.
not have to be tried.
Right, and I think that was like in an interview with, I think it was John Oliver or something. But so I don't think that it's a continuing refusal to pardon, right? I think Obama could definitely make his choice now, especially like Dana said, given that he doesn't really have to worry about re-elections anymore. I also agree that compared to like drug dealers and a lot of different types of offenders that have been pardoned, his so-called his offenses aren't as terrible. He hasn't harmed anyone, like Dana said, but it's also a precedent, right? Like that they will be setting in that what are other whistleblowers going to do? It encourages kind of bad behavior. Your first step shouldn't be to leak to the press, and this might signal to other people in the future that if they have a classified document, the first thing they're going to do is go to the press with it. I really don't want that to happen.
So I'm going to admit this is kind of a tough one on a personal level. I don't know what I believe, honestly. It's
God,
a
if
really
you're going to pick
tough
Dana, I'm going to kill you. I see a D, and I don't know if that means draw or Dana.
I think we know what that means.
It means date. I'm going to get murdered later. Ultimately, here's what I'm going to say. Is that you were too unsure of yourself, Cherlynn. You should have just gone all in from the beginning, and you waffled a little bit.
You had it out on me.
This is a debate
All
competition.
told, the idea that you were not good at role playing conservatives might the right wing might be a compliment for you, depending
Pause
on.
was a little too long. I was like, wait, what do you mean? LARPing or? Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go all in for the next one.
Yeah,
Then.
you just gotta act like you believe.
I don't want to be a belligerent dude.
I think this
You don't want
next
to be
one.
belligerent. No. You told me my face was an attack on you at the top of the
How
show.
is that not belligerent? That's rational.
It's how she says hello.
Yes.
I think this next one you'll have.
Man,
You may have an easier time.
it will be easier. Yeah.
There are
Okay.
more real pros and cons.
Yes, that's very real.
Okay, so this next one, our second topic, is about Link NYC and their 400 kiosks they've set up around the city to provide a Wi-Fi hotspot and other services through tablets and such to the public. Unfortunately, and probably predictably, this did not go as well as they had planned, and they were in the company's own press release about this after they shut down certain portions of the service, said, "We also know that some users have been monopolizing the Link tablets and using them, quote, inappropriately." So, Cherlynn, you think the company did the right thing by freezing some of these functions. Your 20 seconds starts now.
First of all, they're only freezing the tablet part of it, the browser part of it that has people gathering around these kiosks and basically causing a great obstruction in foot traffic. Also, Dana's going to say that like it's a very bad look for the city to shut down these because of perhaps homeless people using it for porn. Let's just be real. That's what inappropriate means. But that's not all it's being used for.
Dana?
Well, it is homeless people, and this company doesn't get to decide really who their users are. And if the problem is porn, just block inappropriate sites the way planes do with in-flight Wi-Fi. And also, there are laws on the books preventing public lewd contact. So if public lewd acts, so if they're masturbating in front of the tablets, they'll get arrested.
All right.
Cherlynn, your rebuttal?
My rebuttal is that porn isn't the biggest problem I see here. I see the tablets as being a huge distraction for street traffic, for people who are walking on the street, whatever. It's like when it's already New York City is such a tourist hub that's got a lot of people sitting around with maps and whatnot and like blocking my way, and I'm an angry New Yorker. I'm like, get the out of my way. And these are just going to cause more obstruction. Just get in the way. Oh, I'm so mad I can't even use words right now.
I mean, there's
I'm
nothing more in
sorry.
New York than seeing someone masturbating in public.
This is also true.
That's not true. I've never seen someone masturbate.
Yeah, I
in
haven't
public
either.
in my whole life.
Really?
No.
Have you?
Many times.
Where are you? I want to go there.
I have
No.
seen at least 3 people masturbating on a train and at least 1 person masturbating on a street
What
corner.
trains are you taking?
Oof.
I've never seen that. I've
No,
seen maybe
never in my
online.
nearly 32 years.
Seen it on the N or R, I can't remember, and I want to say the F or J?
I think they see you and they want to feel better immediately, so they're like,
Yeah.
Cherlynn.
burn. But okay, back to the topic. I'm sorry. Back to the topic. First of all, Link NYC isn't stopping the gigabit Wi-Fi thing that they're still offering. You can still look up these directions, have the maps function, look up your nearby attractions, and even use your phone on the Wi-Fi. So I know that that's kind of limiting the use of the free Wi-Fi to people who actually can afford to own these devices. But that's much more mobile. It doesn't have people gathering around one thing in the middle of the street. You can find your way to a table or a bench and sit down and get out of the way before you use your phone to access that sweet Wi-Fi.
Well, I think also a point you kind of skipped over real quick, and I want to throw
Yeah.
this to Dana, is they are turning off the browser function, but they're leaving a lot of the other services working. So people can't sit down and watch Pornhub on the tablets anymore, but they can still call 911. They can still place free phone calls. They can still get directions on a map. So all of that stuff still works.
That would help some people, I think, especially it would help people whose batteries died. That happens to me sometimes, or to tourists. But otherwise, if it's me on my commute in the city, I have a working phone. I don't need the service probably. A lot of the people who might need the service, or especially the devices in the kiosk, are people who don't own devices and are otherwise struggling to find internet access. They might otherwise go to a library, and I think that is an acceptable choice. And no, they should not have an expectation of finding porn in the library or the kiosk either. But again, I think there are solutions to public porn viewing other than shutting off a whole browser access for people who otherwise would struggle to get online like the rest of the world.
I'm gonna go ham here, but that's not the only reason they're shutting down the tablets, right? I mean, they didn't say outrightly that that's the only or main reason. There's a lot of other, reasons this is causing a problem. Also, this is also a temporary shutdown. They're going to probably bring it back up and possibly put in the filters you mentioned. It could. I still don't think that's a good idea. You're in New York City, for God's sake.
The other problems, really, you think, are that people are just taking up too much physical space on the sidewalk?
For me, sorry, that's like such a personal problem of mine. Like, I hate.
Don't you get mad then at food trucks?
I do. Yeah, I get mad at most.
So you don't
things
like the
on
dirty
street.
water hot dog vendors either,
No,
I assume.
I don't
Okay.
like most things on the street. Really, as long as it's a person and it's in my way, then like.
That I agree with you on.
Thank you.
The sidewalk should be home to fast walkers.
Yes, there should be a fast
Yeah.
lane. Can we just say there should be
I
a
agree
fast
on
walkers
that.
lane? Thank you.
See?
Keep right, or you're not right.
And you thought we wouldn't get along today.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm glad
Yeah.
we can all agree that there should be lanes for foot traffic, including a fast lane. There should be like a real New Yorker lane and a tourist lane, basically.
Yes.
And you can even put the kiosk in the tourist lane because
Yeah.
that's probably who's using it.
Yeah. I am going to give this one to Dana. It was very good. It was very close.
I already I've given up on this show. Can I just say? I've given up.
Not even being condescending. I think Cherlynn made a valiant effort.
She did.
on that one.
I think you make a lot of good points.
Stuck to my guns, guys.
I think ultimately though, Dana's right that it's a bad look in their approach to it. And while maybe they will have these fixes and these, I do think it's absurd, by the way, that there was no content filtering whatsoever from the beginning. Like, this is a thing that's on every plane in every public school. Like, you can filter. We have it at our jobs. There are certain websites you cannot visit on your work computer. Like, it's a really easy thing to implement. If you go to Starbucks, there are sites that you can't visit on their Wi-Fi. So that fact that was not done is sort of strange to me.
Did I tell you that on our plane ride together last week, I actually did try to read Playboy for the articles, and
Sure.
United wouldn't let me.
Oh, really?
Sidebar.
That's-
But yeah,
Doesn't Playboy not do nude photos anymore? Isn't that like a thing? Didn't they change that?
Of course, we wouldn't know, and of course, you would know. I don't know.
I'm derailing things. But anyway,
I'm pretty sure that's true. I'm being told that is true.
We're being told by
So-
someone completely.
So there's no reason for airlines to block Playboy anymore. Change that shit. Another solution is you just save that article to Pocket and then download
and it should be
text
allowed
only.
in New York City Wi-Fi kiosks.
Yeah.
Sure, whatever. Dana won. I don't care anymore. I really don't.
All right, this is your last chance to
You
score
look really
a point,
nice today, Cherlynn.
Thanks. That's not a win either. I look nice every day,
Wow.
unlike Terrence.
Oh.
I'm just gonna keep winning over you in life.
I
Terrence knows
mean,
that.
most people do. I have
Also, can I just point out, Dana just picked all the easy viewpoints on this. She's going to win. Like, let's be real.
I'm cheating at Duck Hunt today. I'm
You're-
sorry.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's what can I do? You're my
This
work
is
mom.
this is your last opportunity to score a point.
This is
Cherlynn.
the
And I'm-
worst
and
one
I'm
to-
gonna say I don't envy you for having to make this argument. I'm
You guys, I'm being bullied to
Can we
death.
just make these unscored? Seriously, don't like.
well. I mean, here's the thing: is the leaderboard is fun and
It's fun.
Yeah, it's
I don't care. I don't care about being at the bottom of the leaderboard. It's fine. I'll find a fun way to.
you're
punish
not at the
myself.
bottom.
Well, I share the bottom with like Gorman or something, right?
Yeah, you're Michael Gorman, our editor in chief.
I hope it stays that way.
I also think it's fun, by the way, and we do need to move on. Really
Yeah,
quick.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
running out of time, but Michael Gorman is a lawyer and also
And he-
apparently
and can't
the
win at this
worst
game.
at debating this game.
That's why he switched jobs, guys. Shh, I didn't say that. Oh my God, Gorman, don't listen to. Cut this out. Oh my God, I'm dead. Fired. Okay, let's get
last one.
on. Come on. God.
So the Samsung Note 7 keeps exploding.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Where were you?
They're doing a voluntary recall, but if you don't want to send your phone back in and get a replacement at some point, apparently, Samsung is issuing a software update that just caps the battery charge at 60%. Cherlynn, why is this an acceptable workaround to the problem of exploding batteries?
is acceptable because it's fast, it works, it's the best way to get it out to everyone really quickly, and it's for the people who want to hold on to their phones and not give it back in. Done! Suck your 20 seconds!
That was well under 20 seconds, and actually fairly compelling argument. Dana, your rebuttal?
Okay, first of all, I'm going to give Cherlynn one and say it's a good Band-Aid solution. Maybe, I don't know. Devil's advocate. But you know what? Samsung should really just recall all the phones and bring them back, return them with a full battery charge that is also safe. One of the things we like best about the Note 7 was it had long battery life. We'd like it better if it were safe, like competing phones.
That's pretty good. I enjoy that you have to like watch me as I reach for the button and you slowly speed up.
No.
It's too much power for Terrence. Someone needs to change that. I hate you.
All the power.
Just stop it.
So I guess, Dana, let me ask you a quick question before we go back to Cherlynn for a rebuttal, which is, if you just want to have access to a phone, like, should you be expected to be phoneless for however many days while you wait for a replacement from Samsung?
I'm not always a black and white thinker, but in this case, why is it being up to it's for me? It's either is the phone safe or unsafe. If it's unsafe, why is this decision being left up to users in any way? Why is Samsung just not taking back the safe phones and replacing them with equally feature-rich Note 7s that also have long battery life, but that won't blow up in anyone's face?
I wonder if they just don't know which ones are safe yet. It's like it seems random enough that it's hitting certain people and not other people, right? Or have they made a new batch that they know for sure is going to work?
I think the fact that we're even asking these questions reflects badly on Samsung and also the authorities that should be handling.
Oh yeah,
this recall.
that's a bet on them too. Yes.
Well, I mean, how does Samsung forcefully recall every phone? I think that's ultimately, for me, that's sort of the question here is capping the battery charge at 60% is not a permanent great solution necessarily, but if you don't, unlike a lot of people, unlike us, don't have access to a bottomless well of review phones that they can pull up at a moment's notice should they shatter their phone.
Is the argument, I'm really doing both my lines and Cherlynn's lines, but is this a good solution if only so that this software update, it's not optional, it would be automatic, right?
Yes.
Yep.
So we don't even know if it's safe yet, but what if we begin with the premise that it is safe? Would that at least keep people in check who otherwise would have shrugged their shoulders at the recall and not turned in their phones?
Yeah, that's basically it.
That's maybe the one potentially good upside to it, but
That's
I don't...
what I was going to say anyway. It's okay if you're saying my lines for me.
Right, so I mean, can we agree that basically Cherlynn would win if the question were it's a good Band-Aid solution and a good way to protect people from their worst selves. It's not a good enough solution as
long term,
as a consolation prize.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think ultimately the question is, which of those questions are we asking? And I don't think Samsung is pretending that it's a permanent solution, are they?
Yeah, it's not. It's not a permanent solution. It's a quick fix to an issue that's putting people's lives at risk.
Yeah.
This is necessary.
At least my understanding is basically we know not everybody's going to return the phone.
Yeah, some people want to live dangerously.
This will keep at least those people who, for whatever reason, refuse to send it back from harming themselves.
It's like the don't be an asshole automatic software update.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dana already made your decision for you, right? She was like, if that were the question Cherlynn wanted.
I totally hand this one to
Yeah.
Cherlynn.
Yes, because
Actually,
she
that
felt
was-
bad for me, honestly. Let's be real.
No, actually, I think that was, once you started talking, I realized that it was actually a much easier debate than I thought it was going to be. Once you framed the question
So I did a good
properly.
job?
Yes.
I did a good job? Oh my God! Oh
Okay.
my God, I touched you.
You did.
God. Oh God. Okay. All right, we're done.
Are you done yet? Do you need some Purell?
Nah. It's okay. I'll
you
go
sure?
take a shower.
Napkins.
Yeah, maybe. It's okay. I'm sweating, you guys. I'm so stressed out. Okay,
Let's move on.
I lost today, but in the grand scheme of things, I won. Cause
You got a point at least.
Yeah.
And I think that does keep you above Michael Gorman.
That's all I want to do.
And, which does mean that unless he gets a shot to get on the podcast pretty soon and fix that,
We don't want him back.
We don't want him back.
We're going to have to embarrass him somehow on stage at CES, and I'm super excited about it.
Oh my God, I'm so excited too.